All right, let's talk about this Canadian victory over Panama with our TSN Soccer analysts, Stephen Caldwell and Kevin Kilbane. Gentlemen, people were expecting a dominant Canadian performance against Panama. Stephen, I'm going to start with you. Did they deliver on Tuesday night in your estimation?
Not exactly, Jay. I don't think Canada delivered the type of performance that they would have been hoping for. In saying that, they got the 3 points in what was a very difficult night to play attractive football. It was cold, the pitch wasn't great, the wind was there, and I think on many occasions the ball would just seem like a hot potato, as we used to say in Scotland. It was hard to get it down and play some good stuff. But I think ultimately they'll be disappointed, Kev, won't they? Because they would have felt here at BMO Field against Panama, if they could have got a good start, an early goal, and got some momentum, then they would have felt there was a number of goals here tonight. And in the end, it was a bit of an edgy victory, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did feel like that. Certainly in the first half as well, I think it was lacking quality. But we've both probably played in 100 games like that in our career, Stevie, where the ball's bobbling around a little bit. The surface isn't great to actually control the ball. The ball's getting away from players. The passes were slack. It was just one of those nights, I feel, for Canada, where it was about getting the job done, get the win, get it done, and then you can actually move forward and look forward. I'm sure that's what Jesse Marsch is saying. I'm sure he's disappointed because the performance wasn't great. There wasn't a lot of quality in the final third, but it was about getting the job done, and that's what they did tonight, ultimately.
Guys, when you look at the entire lineup going into the 2026 World Cup, I think the center-back position was considered to be Canada's biggest weakness going into that World Cup. But, Kevin, do you think that the play of Moïse Bombito over the past few months has maybe erased or eased some of those fears?
Well, absolutely erased those fears, because he seemed to come from nowhere. I know Stevie had known a lot about him prior to Copa this summer, but his performances have got better and better each game he plays. I think he's grown in stature. I think he's grown in confidence with every game that he's playing in a Canadian shirt. That showed tonight. You could see his real quality, Stevie. And he's gone to a big league now in Ligue 1 and playing in France. You can see he's playing around better players day in, day out. I think his quality on the ball is something that's maybe a little bit underrated, Stevie, as well. But his pace and his power, his ability to get Canada out of trouble when there's a ball played over the top. There's very few attacking play that's going to be able to beat him for pace. And, you know, you probably asked the wrong man the question on a centre-half, Jay, because Stevie's a man to answer that totally for you. But you're a big admirer of him, Stevie, in that way, because he did fantastically well tonight again.
His athleticism is elite, and that's what makes him really special. And that's what makes him special for Jesse Marsch, because it allows Jesse Marsch to play that higher line, to play that style of football where they can maybe get a higher press and be more compact as a team. Bombito's athleticism is the key to that, Kev, in that back line. And we saw it on numerous occasions tonight, Jay, against Panama. Bombito was covering a lot of space, and never once did he look like he was going to get beaten for pace. But what is most pleasing for me, Kev, is the development in his game, his ability to take the ball, to be comfortable on it. I thought we saw a different animal tonight. Yeah. We saw a guy who had his chest pushed out. He was a guy who was capable of starting attacks as well as ending a few attacks on a few occasions. And he looked like that leader that Canada have been craving. And, you know, ultimately he's got a long way to go in his development, but I think the potential and the ceiling for Moïse Bombito is so high that Jesse Marsch must be so pleased with the development he's seen, but what is also to come.
Next time, the men's national team will play at home November the 19th, part of the CONCACAF Nations League. Guys, I'm sorry I made you do this interview in the freezing cold, but I'm happy that TSN provided you with good quality parkas. That's good stuff right there. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.